So now that you're done actually doing the bias tape on your sleeve, after you practiced it on the sample, next we are going to actually, we're gonna do a gathering, but this time we're gonna use the machine instead of doing it by hand. So I put the stitches up a bit higher so it's easy to pull. So try and do that also with your machines. Put it to the highest stitching. So don't forget to mark where your seam allowance ends at the corners so you know where to stop at that point. Okay. So stop there. And then same when you reach here, basically you're just gonna pull on the fabric to the measurement of what you measured from your original before it was manipulated. So measure from the original measurement that you measured from the first time, okay? So I would first do a knot on the end so it doesn't move around. Now we're gonna pull the thread from the slit part to the end, but then we're just really gonna try and calculate to your measurement of your cuff. Remember that? So your original sleeve hem measurement is what you want to achieve to happen. So from the top thread, just pull so you can achieve this gathering look. Same thing when you do your hand stitching on this. I mean, you can do hand stitching, but right now I prefer that you practice with your sewing machine, so at least you know this technique. Okay, so I pulled that a bit. So I don't know yet what the measurement is because there's the other side still. So on the other side, the top thread as well that I left behind. So I pull it. So you gently pull it, don't pull it so harshly that the thread's just gonna snap off, okay? So we're just gonna do that. So since the back side towards the slit is a bit more shorter, I didn't overdo it. So from here, let us just eyeballing measure on, well, I have a measuring tape on my sewing machine, so I'm just gonna measure it first and then I'll get back to you. So guys, I finished measuring my sleeve hem, so hoping enough it will fit within the cuffs, and we'll see from there. So now we're onto the cuffs. I pinned it down first so that they're all aligned properly. So this top part, which I folded in 1 centimeter one side, that will be the opening part. So I would suggest that you pin it down also, because we're gonna sew on the sides, bottom, and then side, and then leave the top part that's folded with one side open, okay? Because we're gonna insert it through the sleeve hem. Back with our cuffs. Now that I've sewn the side, bottom, and then the side again, leaving the top part open because I folded down the seam allowance on just one side, so I sewed it down as well, because that way it would be easier for you when you attach it together with the sleeve hem. And then when you fold over the other side, because this side that's out still, this part here is where you attach it first to the sleeve, right? So now I'm just taking out the pins to show you. So it's inverted, I mean inside out still. So on the corners, I would have you guys cut out just a bit, not the whole thing, because when you cut out just a bit, it's easier for you to have that nice smooth corner. Don't cut into the thread though. Alright. Okay. So it's less tension onto the corners. Now pop it out just like that. Invert it. And just, if you see there's still like a lot of fabric in the way of the corner, just smoothen it a bit out. Remove some still. And then there. Better. And then, well, the other side also fix that if there's still a lot in the way. Just cut out just a bit so it's not so much fabric bunching when you fold it back inwards. Let's see. That's how the cuff would look. Alright. So since I flipped it over, I ironed it down too so that the sides are nice and flat, and so some creases are gone. And I'm going to put this aside because I'm going to close up the sleeve sides so that at least we can start already putting things together. So let's get that part. Okay, don't forget to look which is your wrong side and right side so you don't get confused, okay? Double check. Now we're ready to sew after pinning down the side. So remember, it's 1 centimeter and no more than that, because you want it to be perfect to your cuff sizing. So next, after sewing the sleeves, so I'm still on the wrong side of it. If you can see, the seam is showing at this part. So leave it at this side first, and then get your cuffs and pin it around starting from the slit opening. Pin it around with the cuffs still facing on the good side like this. Alright. So you pin it around and see how it fits your sleeve. And then after that, you will, from the cuffs, you will move it open just a bit, the part that's folded down, okay? So you don't catch it when you sew the other side to the sleeve. Alright? I'll pin it down and then I'll show you guys. So now I pinned all around the sleeve area, the hem of the sleeve to the cuffs. Now I'm going to sew it. So when you sew the cuffs, move this out of the way so you don't sew that side, this side, because this side we're still going to flip it over and then we're going to do a top stitch when we sew it on the right side, the face side. So just try and move it out of the way when you sew it. That's done. It's already sewn on. Again, don't forget to cut out that hanging thread. You don't want it to be in the way. And then unpin all the pins that are still stuck on. And then flip the whole sleeve over. Alright? Now that we flipped it over to the face side and also flipped over the cuffs, you can see now it acts like a pocket. That's why we left it open. And this is the 1 centimeter seam that I told you to tuck in. And now you can see the seams of the sleeve hem like that. So what we're gonna do is, since it's like a pocket, we're basically going to tuck it inside, you know, hide the seams in there, and then you're gonna do a top stitch. Alright, so as much as possible, try and hide the seam. That's what you should be doing, hiding the seam. And then you do a top stitch. So, top stitch, more an edge stitch actually. You do an edge stitch towards the edge of the seam. You're hiding it. Jump the gun on this because, well, it's good to just see how your work turns out. are done. Ooh. Now you can see how it looks. Now that's done. Now you have a bishop sleeve. You can see how it poofs down onto the sleeve hem area where the cuffs are. So you can try it yourself. So just like lift it up to your armhole, your arms, and then if you want to pin the cuffs tighter to yourself, you can just like adjust it, because it will have a nice poofy part when it just goes in like that up to your wrist area. So now you guys know how to make a basic bishop sleeve, and if you want to exaggerate the fullness of it, you can also do that if you want to, but I just prefer you guys first start with the basic so you know how to do it, and then later on your own time, if you want, you can practice. So that's how it looks, right? Okay, so thank you for joining me, and I hope you do understand how this is done. And yeah, thank you for joining.